Saints going all the way, Saints going all the way. Kumbaya, this the Who That Nation. Game on the line, you can bet we take them. Go black and gold, black and gold. Don't stop, boy, we trying to win the Super Bowl. We rock and roll, rock and roll. Touchdown, go Saints, we gon' do it some more. We rock and roll, rock and roll. Touchdown, go Saints, now give me some more. Now, who that, who that, holla, who that, who that, holla, who that, who that, holla, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that nation. Black and gold, black, black and gold. Oh yeah, fire stuff. Black and gold, black and gold, black, black. Who that, who that? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for us. They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for us. They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for the black and gold, black, black. Who that, who that? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready. What up? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready. What up? They ain't ready, they ain't ready, they ain't ready for the black and gold, black, black and gold. Game time, baby.
Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints get a much-needed victory over the Las Vegas Raiders by a score of 24-0. The Saints shut out the Raiders. It was the first time the Saints have shut a team out in quite some time. I think the last time they shut out the then St. Louis Rams at home. But the New Orleans Saints looked really good today. They looked inspired. They were playing with their hair on fire. And, I mean, it was a really good game to watch. Speaking of good game, where I was so late was I was trying to catch a little bit of the Falcons versus Carolina Panthers game because, that game means a lot to the Saints and, positioning and stuff like that. But I tell you what, boy, if the Atlanta Falcons lose this football game, I am going to go ballistic. I'm just going to be honest with you. They shouldn't even be in this position. They shouldn't even be in this position right now to go to overtime. The only reason why they're in overtime is because DJ Moore removed his helmet. But, boy, a Falcon fan, man, my goodness, man. Like, I almost feel sorry for him now. Like, this is like, I almost feel sorry for Falcon fans. Like, you have to have a good heart and you have to take a physical at least twice a year to be a Falcon fan because there's nowhere in the world I want to subject myself to this nonsensical stuff. You cannot make this stuff up, bro. But anyway, let's get back to a team that actually showed up today, the New Orleans Saints, and let's go ahead and talk about it, man. I like the way that the Saints ran the football. I like the way that they played defense. The young guys stepped up. Paulson Adebo stepped up big in the second half, and so did Alontae Taylor, who stepped up throughout the entire game. So, watching the game right now in overtime, tied at 34, first and 10. They hand the ball off to Jerry. Well, number 42, he gets about a half a yard there. So they're going to try to run the ball. The only thing that Carolina, just don't get them in the end zone. Y'all be straight. But anyway, let me go ahead and read some of these comments. We'll go ahead and get started from there. Davenport and Turner must watch SOTS and read the comments. Well, I hope they, if anything to motivate them, I'm all for it. Defense got that swagger back. Yeah, they look like a completely different defense out there. They were flying around the field. You ain't really see too many missed tackles. It was a lot of gang tackling going on. It was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. But I tell you what, man, this has been a great week for me. My Jackson State Tigers blow out the Southern Jaguars 35-0. Then the New Orleans Saints goose egg them boys. So Boy, it was a good week for me. But seriously, man, this has been fun. And Jared just said, TJ, how about them JSU Tigers? Exactly, man. We got Goose Egg is 3rd down and 5, 9:17 left. Marcus Mariota in a shotgun. And let's see what's going to happen here. All right, we got, okay, what we got? Look like a flag. So it looked like it's going to go against the Atlanta Falcons. Go figure. It said, hey, TJ, I said I was a great coach. It's gonna take more than this game for me to admit that. But hey, good win. You know, his side of the ball, they really stepped up, and that's what we expect. And you know, they didn't shoot themselves in the foot. They played very disciplined. I mean, this was the best game the New Orleans Saints played all season. Okay, I mean, so it's good to see it. Hopefully, it ends in a tie. Yeah, if it ends in a tie, then where we go from there. I think that means that Tampa would be leading the division. And yeah, there's still Tampa would lead the division. I want to say Carolina would be 2nd, and the Saints would be 3rd, and Atlanta would be last if it ended in a tie, if I'm not mistaken. Holding each other accountable is what happened. This team is better than what they have been showcasing. Watch the next game also. Who that? Well, I'll tell you what, if this defense played like they played today, Saints ain't going to lose too many more games. You know, like if they play like this, if this defense makes tackles, if they communicate and they play the way that they did today, I can't see them losing too many games, especially since they've been running the ball and playing really good defense. All right, so we got 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Algieri. Good cutback. He gets tackled, gang tackled there. So we're going to 2nd down. So, I mean, this game really means a lot, you know, for the Saints. And to be honest with you, if I was to have a team win or lose, I would rather the Falcons actually win this game, because I feel like the Saints match up better than they do with the Falcons versus the Carolina Panthers. For some apparent reason, the Carolina Panthers, it just seemed like they just always defensively, they always kind of like discombobulate the Saints. Yes, bro, this is crazy because we shouldn't even be in this position. I agree. We shouldn't be in this position, but here we are. Okay, Mariota going deep here. Wide open, and it's intercepted. Carolina coming back with the ball. Okay, he got runners in front. Oh, and he gets down to the 20 freaking yard line. Carolina. Oh my goodness, boy. Ooh, boy. Oh my goodness. Boy. How in the world are we in this position? How do we get in this position? Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, Atlanta, boy. I don't know how y'all do it. I do not understand or know how y'all subject yourself to this. Like, y'all had like 30 seconds left in the game. All y'all had to do was play the sidelines. Falcons gone Falcon. You ain't lying. My goodness. All they doing is running the time now. I mean, look, get this dude a perfect shot at his Atlanta, boy. The epitome of choke. My goodness. Our team has turned a thing around from 2nd straight losing streak. Let's see, and they've got them power juice back on this point. Straight up, I ain't lying. I don't know exactly who we talking about. Y'all know we talking about the Saints or somebody else, but okay, so It's 3rd and 4. They stopped him. I'm pretty sure the field goal unit about to come out. I mean, Pinheiro, he's definitely everything but automatic. He missed that field goal, but bro, if you miss this, man, look, that's about a 5.5, 6 hour ride. You know what I'm saying, from Atlanta to Charlotte. If he missed this field goal, he gonna have to he gonna have to take the car, man. He gonna have to rent a car from the airport. 33 yards right here, 33 yards. Here we go, folks. I'm pretty sure they're gonna call a timeout. Yeah, try to ice him. You know, I mean, typical stuff. It's New Orleans Saints team. Oh, okay. Hey, somebody say he missed again. Oh my goodness. Well, look like he gonna have to rent a car. Look like he gonna have to rent the car. Wow. Wow. Don't nobody want to win. Don't nobody want to win. Oh my freaking goodness. That's hilarious. How and I don't know. Let's see. Glad we had a good win today, but like AK said, it's one thing to do it once, but don't mean ish if we ain't consistent. Still a nice win. Yeah, it's still a nice win. I'm looking at this dude actually missed this field goal, so they ice you and you shank it. You shank the field goal. And I want y'all to pay attention. If you notice that field goal, if you noticed it, notice all those empty seats out there. So a bunch of grandstanding fans right there. They left. Y'all ain't see none of them fans. You ain't see none of them fans in the stands. All of them left because they thought it was pretty much over. So let's see. Atlanta going to win. Yeah, they should win now. How in the world you missed that field goal, bro? I hope it's a draw. This is a crazy day in football. Well, fingers crossed for the tie now. Now you see why the Saints had troubles with kickers a year ago. How do you miss that, bro? They suck anyway, TJ. Yeah, I'm like, come on, bro. But I'll tell you what, if they get that ball back again, they might go for it on 4th down. You can't make this stuff up. I'll take the draw. Wow, lead a kick in Atlanta. He ain't coming back. Now all they got to do now, they're going to win. Because all they got to do now is just play for a field goal. And Younghoe Koo, I mean, he pretty much automatic. He up there with, I don't want to say he up there with Justin Tucker, but I mean, he out in the hallway because Justin Tucker on another level. Who that TJ, good win, but would feel better if we were above 500. Well, you can't be above 500 until you actually start winning some games. So this is a start. All right. So they 3-5 right now. They got to win some games. And like I said, this game right here, I mean, this is unbelievable stuff right here. This is unbelievable. Like, how in the world did this dude miss this field goal? All Jameis Winston had to do was pull the ball in our playmaker's hands, and he still have a job. Well, we're here right now. So, I mean, as long as they continue to play offensively like this, I don't see Jameis Winston getting the job back. I don't care who win. We just need to take care of business, and that's that. Please, God, let the game be a draw. My weekend will be completed. They got like 4 minutes left. They playing for the field goal. Let's see. Alante Gator Taylor, he ate today. Yeah, I was extremely impressed with Alante Taylor. P. Warner is straight on fire this season. Yeah, he played a really good game. He played a really good game today. And, you know, he was responsible for that turnover. He was the one that flicked it up in the air. You know, he had a good tackle for loss. Also, Peyton Turner. Peyton Turner had his best game as a pro. So it was good that he stepped up. He put one swim move on one of them offensive linemen. I'm like, man. I'm like, my goodness. Like, they was eating today. Davenport should have had a sack, but of course it was called back because of a holding penalty. I mean, the whole line came out there and played today. So very, very impressed. No turnovers, good tackling, and no big plays given away is always a good recipe to win. Yeah, I mean, look, the Raiders didn't cross the 50-yard line until like 2 minutes until towards the end of the game. And they get to midfield with about 3 minutes left. So that game pretty much over there. They get that ball anywhere close past, you know, a little bit past the 50 and they get in a little bit more in Carolina territory. That's a wrap. I hope so, TJ. Atlanta gonna win on the field or not. Let's see who that TJ. Let's go. Good win. Come on, TJ. Let's talk about this win. Hey, I mean, we got time to talk about this win, but at the same time, like I said, at the end of the day, this game means a lot. It's the South. I'm not, how much more, we gonna talk about. It was a good win. We did some good things, like we gonna talk about it. Who that all? Salute that. Not many yellow flags thrown today either. Yeah, it was a pretty clean game. I couldn't believe a stat that I heard. They said that the Las Vegas Raiders didn't have a pass interference call until this game today. They went 8 weeks. That got to be some type of record. I ain't never heard nothing like that. Ryan Ramczyk on Max, man. Max Crosby didn't do nothing at all. Thank you very much for the 499. Said, are you concerned about Gillikin's performance this season? He seems to be off. Not really. I mean, I didn't think he was that bad. I think he was okay. I mean, he had that one shank in that game versus Cincinnati, but for the most part, I think he been okay. Give Alontae Taylor a game ball for shutting down Adams. Yeah, I mean, he made some really good plays, man. And his positioning, like his ability to like have the wide receivers kind of play the sidelines, but it's hard and difficult for them to be able to put 2 feet in bounds. You got to be impressed by that. Let's see, J-Bo, okay. Let's see, can we both the Panthers and Falcons, they lost. They don't deserve a W. Well, look, if they go out there and they tried out Yonway, cool, that game over. Let's go Pelicans. Oh, and Turner showed up today. Yeah, he had 2 sacks in the game, and he had a tackle for loss. Davenport and Turner was reading the comments this week. No Mike T13, no Marshawn Lattimore, no Jarvis, and no problem. Yeah, look, the Saints ran the football effectively, and they did what needed to be done. They ran the football effectively. They set up really good third down plays, and yeah, in a second, okay, buddy, I'll be there in a second. All right, but yeah, you had really good field position throughout, and you had manageable third down, so they were able to convert. And it played dividends today. It played dividends. So, but let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines and see what you all have to say about the game. Yeah, run the football. All right, but yeah, if he knows one thing, he knows that the team needs to run the football. I guess he heard me say that a lot. Let's see. KT says TJ neglecting his family like Tom. Man, you out your freaking mind. Watch your hand. Watch your hand. Watch your hand. Watch your hand. Hold on 1 second. All right. How like kids, they have their hand in the crack of the door, they be trying to close it. It looked like he was about to crush his hand in there. Yeah, but if anybody, I take offense to this, boy. I'll shut this show down. You'll never hear from me again before I do something like that. Wouldn't be no more State of the Saints podcast before that happened. All right, but let's go to Jerry. Jerry, how you doing, man?
Man, what's going on? TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. How you doing, homie?
Man, I'm doing fine, man. Glad to get this win.
Me too. Well, actually, you got 2 wins, actually. Who is Swag?
Yeah, man. Look, they definitely handled their business on yesterday, man. I'm proud of Jackson State. Yep. I mean, they got the shutout yesterday. The Saints got the shutout today. I mean, and boy, I mean, what do you think about the game?
In 2 days, bruh. Who would have thought about that, man? But TJ, I like what I saw, bruh. I mean, you didn't hear a whole lot of ranting, a lot of riff-raff from me because I just sat back and just watched the Saints do their thing, and I loved it. I loved it. Like you said, it was pretty much almost a clean game, almost.
Right.
So I'll take it.
Yeah, one too many flags thrown in the game. Wasn't too many flags. I mean, they played some really disciplined football. So
Yes, they did.
yeah, I
And
mean,
they ran the football like they always should. The defense came out there and balled out and sacked Carr many times. Even got a couple of turnovers, if not one, by Tyrann Mathieu. Because I was listening to it when I was listening to the game on the radio on my way home from church. Because I just got through a church service and then I got in the car and I listened to it and I heard that Kamara scored on his first touchdown. And when I got home, I heard them saying that Tyrann Mathieu caught an interception. So hey, I'll take it.
yeah, I was look. I like the way that they played today. Like I said, it wasn't too many mistakes. I mean, they played some very sound defense. I mean, tackling was good. Like the secondary played really good. The communication was well. The offensive line, like they played outstanding, man. It was like the Raiders could not like sniff Andy Dalton today. That offensive line was incredible.
Yes, they were. I guess y'all saw. Yeah, we know. I know the Falcons won. I just saw it. But it
Man,
don't make no difference. We won our game,
right.
24-0. That's
Man,
all that matters.
all I know is this: like both of those teams aren't very good. Like seriously,
No.
both of those teams aren't very good. And I guess that was one of the cases where somebody had to win, because apparently, like I don't know, Carolina they pretty much just gave them the game. They took the
Yeah,
helmet getting
well,
taken off by Moore, and then
yeah.
Pena
If,
missing
if,
two
if
field
Moore
goals.
didn't rip his helmet off, I mean that would have been like 35-34 in regulation.
Yeah,
But he just did something. But after that touchdown, he just did an unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's why they missed the field goal, and that's why we got the final score as you saw.
yeah.
But
But
hey,
all in all, like I said, man, look, none of those teams at the end of the day scare me as a Saints fan. I think the Saints
nah,
are capable of beating both of these teams. And if the defense continues to play like they played today, like I said, I mean, it's pretty much, there for the taking. I mean, look, I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate this. I mean, you're not going to goose egg teams every week. But if you
nah.
can replicate some of the things that you did well in this game, and you get some guys back that can be able to contribute in a major way, I think that you should be fine. I think you should be fine going forward, man. You got anything else, Jerry?
No, man. I'm just happy the Saints got the win. All the talk, this past week, to tell them what they needed to do, and they went out there. I mean, ain't a whole lot more to say. TJ, I just got a big smile on my face. We're 3-5 right now.
Right,
I hope they play the same way they played over the Raiders, the same way on next Monday night when Baltimore come in town. That's
right.
the only thing I got, bruh.
Yeah,
And
yeah, man.
shouts out to everybody in the chat. Who that to y'all? I love y'all. Let's keep this thing going. Much love to y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Let's go. Who that?
Yeah, man. Shouts out to you, Jerry. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, TJ. Y'all be blessed, man.
You too.
All right.
Yeah, look, I'm excited about this win. I just wanted to keep going. Going out there playing the way that you're doing right now means absolutely nothing if you can't continue the string of success that you had. And this is the team that we want them to look like. A team that's efficient offensively, making the plays defensively, getting to the quarterback. Like this is the type of game that you want to see from the New Orleans Saints. Now, next week is going to be a little bit different because of the, Lamar Jackson coming into town, his ability to be able to scramble as well as make plays. So they're going to have to really bring forth their best effort. But this week is a good start. It's a good start to, something that can possibly, be replicated. But I'm taking it one game at a time, man. I'm taking one game at a time. I like what I saw. Wasn't too much to like really complain about. Wasn't too much I can really just say that it was just bad on today. I think that they ran the ball very effectively. Andy Dalton made really good decisions. I know some people question, on 4th and 4, like when he rolled out to the left and he had Juwan Johnson open, but he ain't try to fit the ball in there. He just tried to throw it away. So I'm not mad at him on that. But Yeah, I'm excited about what this team can be. Let's take this energy and this aggression to this game on that's coming up on next Monday and try to see if you can get that victory again because you're gonna need it. Because all these teams right now are really fighting really hard and they're fighting for their playoff lives right now. So let's just continue. All right, we're gonna go to Josh. Josh, how you doing, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for those of you who don't know, my name is Josh, and I am the fan of the State of the Saints podcast. How you doing, TJ?
All right. Hey, I'm gonna help you out a little bit because I think you need a better introduction than that. So I'm gonna go like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the State of the Saints podcast proudly brings to you one of the best podcasts of the world. He is the fan of the State of the Saints podcast, Josh. Okay, I got you.
Man, I thought that was the road dog himself for a minute, man. You did that really well, bro.
Well, we try to do what we can, man. But Josh, thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. Hey, listen, guys, this game is why you don't judge a coach's qualifications on a 6-game resume. This game was Dennis Allen, okay? You want to know what happened? Let me tell you what happened. Today's defense is Dennis Allen, okay? This is all Dennis Allen. It's like I said, the reason Dennis Allen has been coaching so poorly for the first, 5 or 6 games or whatever it is because he's been trying to take on too much. He's been trying to oversee the offense as much as he used to oversee the defense. This week, he focused on his strengths, which is the defense, and let Pete Carmichael, for the most part, have control over the offense and let him call his own plays. That's what happened. That's the difference. We forget that Dennis is a defensive coach, and he's one of the best defensive coaches in the league, has been for 6 or 7 years. And today he was allowed to focus on defense, and we got what we got. So this game right here, to me, shows more of Dennis Allen's potential as a coach than these past ones. I said it when I made my own video. I think he was trying to take on too much, and TJ, you alluded to that too. In this game, I think this week he focused on his strengths, which is defense, and let Pete Carmichael have the offense. I know I said that already, but I just want to drive that point home. And as long as he continues to do that, we will be okay under Dennis Allen. So I don't see how anybody could argue against what I just said, because I mean, you can't deny he's a great defensive coach. He's proven that over the last 6 or 7 years. So explain today as opposed to the last few days. What other reason would there be besides the one I just gave?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not going to debate you on that based on I can say some things, but I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Dennis Allen. Look, I still don't feel, as of today, I still don't feel like he's the answer to what the Saints need. But this, what can you say after, after a shutout? Like, what can you say after a shutout? This was the best performance that they had all season long. I'm like I said, I'm still skeptical. It takes more than one game to absorb this and what we actually see. But it's a start. Like I said, it's a start. This could be the start of something that we all hope is something positive, or it can just be the fact that you got 2 guys who have the same similar background. Like Josh McDaniel is a guy who coached, failed, went back to where he belonged, and then got another coaching job. I mean, but I think it had a lot to do with the defense, the 10 days off. A lot of guys, I think it's a combination of things. Whatever it is, whatever decision Dennis Allen made, rather it was him putting emphasis on the defense. I don't know. Did somebody see, normally he has a play sheet in his hand. Am I not mistaken? I didn't see the play. Did he have a play sheet in his hand?
Well, see, and that's what I'm saying. He let Pete Carmichael run the offense, and he focused on the defense.
No, but I'm saying defensively, normally he's calling the plays on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm wondering, was he the one, did he kind of facilitate this game and allow Nielsen or Richard to, coach the defense, and he kind of just focused on, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Like, does anybody like remember? But I kind of vaguely remember like Dennis Allen like kind of holding a defensive play sheet. You know? Okay, somebody say yes, he had the card in his hand. Okay, so yeah, I guess it was his performance. But it was like a few times where they panned there, and I don't know if he called and played, but if he did, then that was very impressive. So, but yeah, what you just said, like if he's focusing on the defense and letting P. Carmichael focus on the offense, and then he's kind of going over the overall operations. Yes, this thing could work out, but whatever they decided to do, maybe they need to practice this going forward. You got anything else?
No, I just got to say that can I make a quick announcement here?
Mm-hmm.
On my channel, I'm going to be doing a little something this week called Saints Pickup Lines.
Mm-hmm.
You like a girl, but she's a Saints fan. How do you talk to her? I'm going to be putting out a few pickup lines out there for you guys to see over on my channel. So I think you guys will get a good kick out of that if you go over to my channel. So that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, sounds good, man. All right, looking forward to that, and thank you so much, man, for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right. But yeah, look, I don't know what they did this week that was different from the other weeks, but I mean, whatever they got going, I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if somebody like, came in there. We heard about Alvin Kamara. We heard about Sean Payton. Look, I don't know what it is. I remember back in the day when they lost their mojo, Robert Meacham was talking about Popeye chicken. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you had a 2-piece, a 3-piece. I don't care what it was. Sean Payton showing up. Look, whatever it takes in order for you to replicate what you actually have done in this game going forward. I think we all would like this. The only thing I would say before we get to Aaron, I'm just not a fan of that conservative play calling, man. I just think that it's gonna come a time you're gonna have to be aggressive, man. And I just feel like the Saints, you don't really start to see their aggression until they're beating like they losing a game in the fourth quarter. Then all of a sudden it just turns into like desperation. I would just like to see a little bit more aggression. That's all I would like. Like some of the plays going for it on 4th and 1. Taysom Hill high percentage. That you're gonna get that first down, even if they didn't. Once again, I wouldn't even got mad. I just want to see a little bit more aggression and just kind of just being as conservative. It worked today, but I'm just wondering, like when a game is like really on the line, like how would that affect like some of your decision making going forward? But we're gonna go ahead and go to Aaron. Aaron, how you doing, man?
Yo, TJ, what it do, bro?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I feel better than I have been all freaking week.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It feels good to get a win. Been a while since I feel like we had one.
Exactly. Shout out to everybody down there in the chat, man. Keep continuing to support my boy TJ here. One of the best, if not the very best Saints podcaster here on this YouTube platform, bar none.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. You have a really good podcast as well, man. And also, man, just all the work that you do on the side, man. Very knowledgeable of the team, and we appreciate it, man. We appreciate that.
So we already know the Saints offense hasn't been the issue for the last 3 or 4 games. The Saints have averaged over 25 points a game over the last 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about the defense. The defense is what I want to give my flowers to. Because there were 3 players on that side of the ball who really impacted this game and took over and said, okay, enough's enough. I need to put my stamp on this game and make sure that we play up to our standards. 3 people. 1 started from the defensive line, Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport will not show up much on the stat sheet, but man, did he impact that game. He has but one play that stood out to me was the jet sweep.
Yeah, Devontae Adams.
Marcus Davenport fires off his block and pancakes Devontae Adams, I think 2 yards. There are just some plays where he forces you to take notice of him. The David Onyemata sack, it was mainly done by Marcus Davenport clearing out David Onyemata's blocker when they did the but they did their usual swim over technique in the interior. So Pete Warner is the second one. You know, I've been on this Pete Warner train since he was drafted out of Ohio State.
Right.
And now everybody is seeing that he is that guy. I really wanted him to have the interception. TJ, I was foaming at the mouth when that ball hit Pete Warner's hand. I wanted him to have it so bad because he deserved it.
Right.
But instead of getting that, he made sure that the score remained a shutout. I think he was a leading linebacker today in terms of tackles.
Right.
I think he's one of the top tacklers in the league overall. Pete Warner is everywhere. He's everywhere you want him to be where the football is.
Yeah.
The third player is rookie Alontae Taylor. Did you guys, fun fact for TJ, everybody else in the chat who may not know this, when lined up against Devontae Adams today, he was targeted 4 times and gave up nothing. 4 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. The most Devontae Adams got today was 1 catch for 3. And that was against Chris Harris, I believe it was. Either Debo or Harris. Alontae Taylor is a guy who's proven me wrong, TJ. I was skeptical about the draft pick, but he made me eat crow, at least for this week. And he's been putting together a pretty notable couple of games. Even though the Saints lost against the Cardinals last week, it really wasn't on Alontae Taylor's foul play. He played really well in that game.
Yeah.
Going up against one of the best in DeAndre Hopkins, he didn't give up over 100 yards. I think he barely gave up over 50 against Hopkins in this return. I'm happy for Alontae Taylor. I'm happy for Peyton Turner. He came away with 2 sacks. I'm happy for the dude. The defensive line really stepped up. It's one of those games where I can say, okay, usually I go in the games, it's like, it doesn't matter if they have backups or backups to backups playing for the opposing team. The Saints defensive line just can't take advantage of it and get home. They shut me up this week.
Right.
I'm so happy about that, man. Like, this is the potential that you, me, and everybody else have been wanting to see because we know that it's there. And Dennis Allen called a heck of a defensive game plan. I give my hat off to him. I was so pissed off at this man coming into this game.
But I think we all were.
But it was simple. If the Raiders are going to beat you, you don't want their best player on the field to beat you on the ground. That was Josh Jacobs. I saw much better tackling from the secondary to the D-line. Everybody was game tackling Josh Jacobs to make sure he didn't. What did he come away with? Less than 40 yards?
Yeah. They were inspired. They were inspired to neutralize him. Like it was like, man, I don't care what y'all do today. This dude ain't gonna have nothing to do with it. And that was probably the most impressive thing to me. And like you said with Alontae Taylor, I'll go deeper. When Marshawn Lattimore gets back, I guarantee you he probably gonna end up being on the opposite side. Between Dennis Allen don't really talk that much about individuals. Like, even if like the media brings them up, he kind of like is very, very careful with like some of his the verbiage that he uses. But you can tell like he really likes Alontae Taylor, and I see why. That dude got some dog in him, man. You see,
dude,
like
the tackling was crazy.
He's willing to stick his head in there and make a tackle. He's not afraid to go out there to try to jump in front of a ball. Like, he's a guy that is not afraid to go out there and make a risk, and he plays with a level of confidence. Like, man, you hold Devontae Adams on the side. He misses a catch, and then you look down at him like this ain't like chopped liver or something like that. This dude is arguably the best wide receiver in football, and you looking down at him like he just some scrub off the street. Even he got up and looked like, man, who is this dude right here? But hey, he found out who he was then. I mean, what, 1 catch, 3 yards? I mean, so he really handled his business, man. But you got anything else before I let you go?
Look, Cesar Ruiz. Cesar Ruiz has become the best player on the offensive line as a whole. I love what Cesar Ruiz has put out on the field. Every drive, I watch him just move bodies, push guys, defensive linemen, linebackers, 4, 5, sometimes 6 yards up the field to open up running lanes for Kamara, Ingram, Sometimes Dwayne Washington, he got a couple of nice plays. The one play that stood out to me that opened up a good run down the left sideline was because of Cesar Ruiz sealing the edge when he was the pulling right guard.
Mm-hmm.
I love that from Cesar. I love how he's just so confident in his play. He's a different guy from a physical and mental standpoint, and it's translated.
Yep.
Like we all dogged him. I dogged him. This guy deserves his flowers this year. He deserves his flowers this year, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's making me eat crow, TJ.
Yeah.
Everybody. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah. I'm excited and I'm happy for him too, man. This overall performance is something that we've been looking for all season. And like I said, hopefully they can replicate it. But Aaron, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, always, CJ. I'll be back next time.
Yeah, hey, before you go, man, make sure you plug your YouTube channel, your Twitter page, so people know where they can find you.
Hey, check it out, guys. Content is going to be firing back up pretty soon. I got some good news from my grandmama coming up. Look, TJ, we might have found a way. Well, she might be going into chemotherapy soon.
No.
So with her getting healthy, that means everything is getting freedom for me to make content, guys. If you guys want to support my channel, go to B&G Breakdown Podcast. Hit that in your search bar. YouTube.com. Search B&G Breakdown Podcast. That's your Hudak Davis. My slogan is, if you don't know, you will know over here. We bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. If you guys want to check me out on Twitter, I'm very active on the Twitter side. My Twitter handle is Dats Davis. I'll hit that down in the comment section in the live chat, so you guys can go follow me if you guys want to continue talking shop. If you guys want to come on the show, all you got to do is just ask. I'd love to bring more people on. TJ, I'm going to have to bring you on soon, man. I haven't had you on there in a while.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I gotta get you over there.
I'm looking forward to it, man. But then I'm also looking forward to the healing power of God when it comes to your grandmother, man. We all rallying with you. We know that God is in control, man, and everything is going to work out. You know, that's great news to hear, and we're looking forward to seeing the content and also hearing the good news in the future, man. My prayers to you and your family, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it. Hey, she rung the bell, she was so happy to ring that bell today. She was happy to ring that bell.
Yes, sir. That's what it's all about.
Yes, Lord. Thank you very much. All right, TJ, I'm out. I'll be in the comment section. Everybody in the chat, stay blessed. Love you. If you haven't said I love you to your family members, say it today.
Please
say it tomorrow, because you never know. Because you never know when God might call them home, man.
Yeah.
You never know when God might call them home.
Yep.
So that being said, I'm out. So you bring the next guy up.
Right.
My blessings to the next one that comes up here and gets his voice.
All
You're doing a great job, TJ. Keep it up, man.
All right, I will, man. Aaron, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I mean, look, shouts out to Aaron. I mean, we all know, and if you don't know, God is a healer. He's a merciful God, and if you call on him, he will answer. Now, I don't know if some of y'all believe that, but I do. Like, so before we get chosen, I know we got that victory today, but I just feel like it's appropriate, man. You know, a couple of days ago, we made a joint about head coach Dennis Allen. Now, it's not really appropriate for today, but I think it's a banger. Let's go ahead and hit it one more time.
Let me tell you a story about a coach with an 8-28 record. He had an opportunity to change the way the NFL world would look at him forever.
I need everybody to get up. Y'all already know the words.
Sean Hayden decided to. He decided to step down. Where you going?
Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do.
And be on TV.
Let me hear you.
Dennis Allen had a defense. Had them boys hunting every week. No, man, but now what do you want to do, man? Now all he does is clean.
Let's go.
Always talking about Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen, why are you talking about him, baby? I don't care what you did to the Raiders. Just because of my team. He wasn't good for the Raiders. Now it's been about 7 weeks. It's been that long? Into the season. Man, I guess it has, man. But what's been going on? And the same thing he did to them, he did to me. You got to be kidding me. I'm screwed.
Hey. Yes, sir. We about to go to Chosen, aka Black Dennis Allen. How you doing, man?
First of all, I want to start off with the opening statements. How you doing, TJ?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Coach, good victory today, 24-0. Pitched the shutout first time, I want to say, since like 2015, 2016 against the Rams. What are your overall impressions of the team and what you've seen today?
Well, yeah, man. First off, hats off to those guys over there. Josh McDaniels, he's doing a very good job with that team. Those guys are going to keep fighting. They're going to fight to the very end. Yeah, man. We preached the emphasis today all through the week. We knew what kind of smash mouth defense these guys can play. You know, we went after the quarterback. That's been emphasis all week, and we knew we had things to clean up and clean up, and more cleaning up, and just clean up some more. And you know what, TJ, I don't think I emphasized enough cleaning up, and we just clean up, and you know,
clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up, everybody, do your share.
Yeah, man. That's pretty much been the focal point. You know, got after the quarterback. We have some guys, you know, out, and we have these young guys stepping up, and they clean up as well. Actually, some of the young guys clean up better than some of the veterans, you know. So you gotta like that, TJ. You can never have enough cleaning up.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, Fabuloso, Clorox, I mean, Lysol. I mean, we're all trying to clean up. Some of us are trying to clean up our homes. You're actually trying to clean up the team, and you really did a good job today. Defensively, them boys was hunting. You know, Dog was hunting out there. Offensively, Andy Dalton was out there. You know, he made some plays, and Alvin Kamara came back to being who the Alvin Kamara we all knew. What was the emphasis that you put on trying to get AK the ball, and why is it that it took so long for this to happen?
Well, fortunately, TJ, that's a pretty good question. I'm going to answer it. The thing is with that, man, we knew Alvin. He had to do what I couldn't do last week, and so to get the team rattled. He actually should have my job and have my paycheck. I owe you. Thanks, Alvin. You really saved my bacon on that one. But I think the point of the emphasis, TJ, was to get him the ball more, because we noticed, you know, statistically, you know, I'm a coach that always go off stats. So it says statistically, when I look at the stats, it says if I give Kamara the ball more times than none, then such happens. And once again, man, analytics proved me right, TJ. I got him the ball, and I think it took along because TJ, I'm a very nice guy, and people really don't. I don't really get in guys' faces. So if they screw up, TJ, I just let them screw up. What's wrong with you? I mean, who am I? Who am I being a foul to call a guy out? I give him a bottle of Clorox and some Fabuloso, and you know, I told him to clean it up. Also, man, I give these guys a season supply of mop and blow, some spick and span.
Okay. Look, I mean, look, Coach. I know it's funny today. You know, it's a lot of laughs. You know, a lot of joy going on in the locker room. You can't really, you know, hold your composure. But I have done my due diligence here, and there was a report that came out that said that you were willing to trade Alvin Kamara for 2 bottles of Fabuloso and some Lysol. What are your thoughts on that?
TJ, I want to address that. That is completely false. I will not trade Alvin Kamara. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to clean that up. I did not want to trade Alvin for that. I actually traded Alvin for 4 bottles of Clorox, some Lysol pads, and also, TJ, I don't know if you heard, but the new Jet Swifter. They have a new Jet Swifter. I also was going to throw him in there.
That was you on the front of that? That was you on the front of that? Oh, I thought I recognized you, Coach. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I recognize it. Look, the
all-
picture did not have the red Sharpie behind your ear, so I was like, nah, it couldn't have been Coach DA. He couldn't have been.
Oh, you know what, man? And speaking of the red Sharpie, TJ, this is actually what I call plays with. You know, anytime you see this, just know it comes with 100% conservativeness and a lack of aggression, TJ. I advise everybody to get one of these, TJ, but I think I'll take one more because I got a feeling you guys are going to criticize me.
Okay, yeah, I got to get back to the pen here. Not only does it come with those things, but I also heard if you actually click the top of it, it actually sprays out something that can protect you from COVID and other type of issues that could be in the air. Is that true?
Well, we'll see, TJ. Oh yeah, I feel fine, buddy.
Okay, yeah, definitely sounds fine, Coach. Great to get that victory. Looking forward to hearing from you in the future, and looking forward to seeing you all your items on the shelf of our local Dollar General and Family Dollar, sir.
Yes, sir. And also remind guys, even though we're going into fall, it's never too late to do spring cleaning. Who that?
All right, sound good. Who that? Shouts out to Coach DA, man. Always cleaning things up. That's what we need right there, man. We need a coach that's going to clean some things up. He definitely cleaned it up today. Saints looked disciplined. The defense was playing really well. The offense played really well. But let's go ahead and we got to go to the segment that I like to call Who is Fluting? Now, for those that don't know what fluting is, of course, growing up as a kid, I used to like Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie used to make those plays, especially late in games, third, fourth quarter, running around the yard like a kid playing in the park. And he always made some plays. So, you know, every time somebody make a play or somebody does something good in the honor of Doug Flutie, we're going to say who is fluting. And who is fluting on today? Look no further than Alontae Taylor. Alontae Taylor in his second start looked absolutely incredible, man. He was out there, you know, making plays. He was jumping routes. He almost had an interception. He had a couple tackles in the backfield. And when he was asked to go up against Devontae Adams, he answered the call. So Alontae Taylor, to me, was a guy that was definitely fluting.
That's some nice fluting, boy.
Also, we have to acknowledge Pete Werner. Pete Werner, who was flying all over the field as well. A guy that is a sure tackler. He came into the game fifth in the NFL in tackles. He was leading the team. He had 60 tackles on the season before the game even started. But he really stepped up. He had the tip pass that ended up being an interception. He had a couple tackles for loss. He was able to gun down Josh Jacobs and catch him with a shoestring tackle. The play probably would have been a real huge gain for Josh Jacobs. But when you look at Pete Werner, he had 11 tackles. Okay, he had 7 solo. So definitely got to say Pete Werner was somebody that was.
That's
fluting.
some nice fluting, boy.
Honorable mention for fluting. Honorable mention has to go to Peyton Turner. Peyton Turner is a guy who we had high expectations for, and we've been asking where has he been. And you know, he really stepped up today. He had 2 sacks. He had a tackle for a loss. And he had one of the best swim moves I've seen from a Saints defender all season long. That includes Cam Jordan. So honorable mention. And also Marcus Davenport. Now, Marcus Davenport, he should have had a sack, but it was called back because of a holding call. But the tackle in the backfield and his ability to be able to hurry Derek Carr in this game, I have to give him honorable mention as well. So those 2 individuals, honorable fluting.
That's some nice fluting, boy.
So those are the guys that I feel like that have been fluting and had a really good game. So what do you guys think? What do you think about some guys? Who would you pick for a guy that was fluting? Who would you pick? On The Simpsons, TJ. Let's see. Warner being a dog too. Taylor was in the folks' uniform blanket. Yeah, he definitely was. Doug Flutie is the reason the 86 Bears didn't repeat. Hey, but at the same time, Doug Flutie was an exciting football player to watch, especially like, you know, when he was in college at Boston College, and he was a guy, you know, a lot of people didn't expect, you know, to do anything. But I can remember like growing up when he was playing for the Buffalo Bills and he was the best player, and instead they tried to go Robo Sack, also known as Rob Johnson, you know, but he was a guy that made some plays. Defensive line was Flutie along with Kamara. Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like with Kamara definitely was fluting. But I think the thing about it is Kamara kind of suffers the Belichick, like the Drew Brees, like guys like that, right? Guys that always make plays. So it's kind of like when they do make plays, it's impressive, but you expect those things. But when it comes to he definitely was fluting today. Definitely was fluting, but based on like Alontae Taylor coming into a game. I mean, come on, man. Think about this. This dude started on last Thursday night against DeAndre Hopkins, who is arguably one of the best wide receivers in the game. Then he has to go up against Devontae Adams the next game, who is arguably the greatest wide receiver in the game right now. And he answered the call on both of those guys. So I gotta give him the edge, because here's the reality. If he didn't play well and Adams was out there eating constantly, what will we say? What will we oh man, rookie ain't got it. So I'm going to praise this guy because of the situation, because if it was the other way around, everybody would want me to like completely criticize this dude for that. So he definitely on top of the board for the fluter. You need to buy your child an Xbox. My son is 3. You want to know what to do with an Xbox. Let's wait for a couple of years before we actually do this. Andy, no interceptions with Fluting. I mean, Andy did a good job today. Solid performance. He did what the coaches asked him to do. Okay, he didn't win the game, nor did he lose the game for the Saints. And you also have to give credit where it's due. He was able to convert some of those third downs and get the ball in the hands of the best playmaker on the Saints team, which is Alvin Kamara. Look, this is not a knock. This is not a knock on Andy Dalton at all, because I'm happy that he played well today. But what I'm saying is, like, he did what it needed to be done. All right. And as long as he continue to do that, you'll never get no issue from me. I just want the Saints to win. That Boston College game gave me a crush on Flutie. Good to see Yamada sighting today. Yeah, Yamada played pretty well. And so did Malcolm Roach. Those guys in the middle, man, they was handling their business. And also, man, look, is another guy that kind of falls between the cracks. But let's give a credit to Ryan Ramczyk. Max Crosby was not a factor at all in his game today. At all. I think he may have made like one play that kind of stood out. But Ryan Ramczyk is, neutralized him. And he did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing in this game for the most part. Let's see. For real, I see what I see. Karma was trying a little bit harder today. Who that, y'all? Let's see. AK don't want to be traded. That's why he played like a man on fire. I think he played like a man on fire, Carter, because they got him the ball. And I really think that the decision to go with Andy Dalton had a lot to do with it. Like they mentioned that in the game, and it's crazy because I was going to come out and say the same thing. I think a lot of the decision for Andy Dalton to play had a lot to do with the fact that his ability to get the ball in the hands of Alvin Kamara. We got 329 people watching this right now, man. So I ask that you hit the like button. Good win for y'all. There are some silver linings. Alontae is a big time. Shaheed open things up for other receivers because you have to pay attention to him. And Taysom, he stepped up, made good plays today as well, man. So it took a collective effort. But it's crazy because I don't think I gotta look at the stats here. I mean, I know Traquan was out there. I didn't see him. I think he had like one target. Callaway had one catch for 10 yards. I mean, like it was guys like Shaheed. Like, to be honest with you, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if they admit this or not, but somebody watching these podcasts, man, because if you think about it, Taysom Hill was all over the game from start to finish. Then you had more Rashid Shaheed sightings. I mean, what he had 3 targets, he had 3 catches, right? So they got him the ball. Then it's like everything that we was asking these boys to do, they did. We wanted these boys to get pressure up front with their front 4, right? All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know. I ain't trying to give myself credit, but somebody watching these shows. Because if you look at like the critiques from podcasters and reporters, it's been the same thing. Juvie DiBiase says, TJ, I'm actually a little impressed with Paulson Adebo. I feel like he played the ball well in coverage. Look, in the second half, he did, and also he made some good tackles. But at the same time, there was one, like, I hate to be that guy, but there was a pass that was downfield, and I want to say number 84 for the Raiders. He got behind him. Derek Carr just kind of overshot the pass. So that's why I say you have to praise guys like Alontae Taylor, because if something like that would happen, we would have had a completely different opinion of him. We would have had a completely different story to tell. So I guess you have to give him credit with that. But I think that if I want to break this game down, I think that Paulson Adebo played much better in the second half than he played in the first half. But I mean, he did make plays. TJ Axpack, man, who he likes better out of Jameis and Andy. Show him a picture of both. Well, he's not in here right now, but when he comes back, I'll make sure I ask him. Let's see. Just be good to my team. Happy Victory Sunday. Yeah, man. Look, as much as I like that song, you know what I'm saying, I like the victory even better. Love your show and points of view. Kenneth, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that love, man. Thank you for that. Man, we also had a special guest, man. We had a special guest with us, gave his prediction about the game. All right. So this is what he said. Now I had to dial up and I had to call long distance to get this individual to come on to give us his prediction. Let's see how it turned out.
Hello, Huda Nation. I am the Black Panther, coming live from Uganda to tell you the prediction of the Las Vegas Raiders and New Orleans Saints game today in Week 8. TJ has informed me of this football game and the playoff implications it may have. Even though I am not a fan of American football, I spend most of my time trying to make sure that vibranium is not taken from my country by colonizers. I do have enough information to tell you who is going to win this game. The Las Vegas Raiders led by quarterback Derek Carr, completing 63% of his passes. He has 4 interceptions and 9 touchdowns. He has not been steady Eddie. He has been sacked 12 times. Josh Jacobs, who ran crazy last week, seems like he's running for a big contract. He has 633 yards on the season. And now he comes into the Caesar Superdome and a team who has very little to no defense. They have had the inability to stop the run, the inability to stop the pass. So Josh Jacobs may indeed be licking his chops like a lion in Uganda. And Devontae Adams, I heard he had the flu. He's a little sick, under the weather, if you will. However, we know how dangerous he can be in a game of these type of implications. And we look at the New Orleans Saints, led by the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton has replaced Jameis Winston as the quarterback. The man who likes to clean, Dennis Allen, has said that he prefers Andy Dalton over Jameis Winston, even though I must admit a man who likes to clean as much as Dennis Allen does must be commended. Who is going to win this game? No Michael Thomas, no Jarvis Landry, but Chris Olave he's been spectacular. From what TJ tells me, he is supposed to be the rookie of the year for the offense of the ball. So I have the New Orleans Saints winning this game. It is a tough game. But when you play in the NFC South, it's always tough. Very, very bad American football. So that is my prediction. That the New Orleans Saints will knock off the Las Vegas Raiders. All I have to say now is who dat forever.
Yeah, you heard it there from the Black Panther, live from Wakanda, giving us his prediction. So it looked like he was right. He said the Saints were going to win. So shouts out to the Black Panther. Shouts out to him. Might have to get him back on the show. He'll be giving that type of good look. Man, I got real life tears running down my face. Oh, what the hell is going on? Just turned on the stream. If you're just joining us, we had the Black Panther giving his prediction about the game. He said the Saints were going to win, and they won. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff here, man. Was Mike T on the sidelines for the game? Yes, he was. And it was good to see him. And I think that that's something that he needs to keep going. You know, him being on the sidelines, that means a lot, in my opinion. As a guy who's a veteran, a guy that's really good, plays at a high level, being able to encourage some of these guys, I think that stuff matters. Like, we see how it's affecting, even though they won today, like the Denver Broncos, right? You got Russell Wilson, man, got his own office and act like he, holier than thou, and it's affecting the team. So I'm not saying that, I don't know if it's affecting the team or not, but it means a lot when you have guys, no matter what their bankroll is, no matter what their position is, and they're on the sidelines. And regardless if they're out there or not, they give you that feel like they're in the foxhole with you. So that's a plus. Hey, TJ, it's way too okay. Seems like it will be Dalton the rest of the way. I'm asking because what's Jameis' future? I think Jameis' future is pretty much set in stone here. I think regardless, like the Saints have pretty much told you without telling you that they don't feel like he's the guy. They don't feel like he's the guy for the future. Now he can come back, but it's never going to be to a point where we like, okay, our starting quarterback is Jameis Winston. If he does come back, it's going to be more of a bridge. It's going to be more of a bridge, so that's why I feel about it. Unless like Andy Dalton just completely falls off a cliff or he gets hurt, that's just the way that it's going to be, going forward. But I think it's pretty much over. I think it's pretty much over and done with. But let's go ahead and look at some of the stats here. We got Andy Dalton, 22 of 30, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill threw a pass for 2 yards. Alvin Kamara, 18 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. Taysom Hill, 10 carries for 61 yards. Dwayne Washington pitched in with 4 carries with 13 yards. Mark Ingram, dealing with a knee injury, did not come back. So we'll have to see about Mark Ingram's injury. Alvin Kamara, 9 catches for 96 yards. Chris Olave, 5 catches for 52 yards. He was targeted 7 times. Rashid Shaheed, 3 catches for 38 yards. Juwan Johnson, who was dealing with a hamstring, 2 catches for 14 yards. Taysom Hill, 1 catch for 11. Callaway, 1 catch for 10. Nick Vanette, 1 catch, 8. And Mark Ingram, 1 catch for 2 yards. The defense, let's see, 11 total tackles for Pete Warner. Paulson Adebo with 8. Matthews with 4, including that interception. Peyton Turner had 4 tackles, 2 sacks. Alante Taylor had 3 tackles. Davion Yamato with 3 tackles. He also had a sack. You had Cavante Street. He had half a sack along with Cameron Jordan. And then you have a couple guys with 1 sack. Guys like Zach Barnes, Sorensen, Hanson, Marcus May, and Kevin White. Those were the guys that contribute on special teams. So that is your Saints offensive and defensive box stats right there. So look, if you can continue to play the way that you did today, like I said, I know you ain't about to be shutting teams out left and right, but if you can play discipline, you cannot turn the ball over. You can continue to play good defense, and you take care of the football by running it. I think that it's just a matter of time you'll be able to dig yourself out of this hole. But the Saints have got to be able to take that one game at a time approach. It can't just be something that you're saying, it's got to be a lifestyle at this point if you're going to continue to play, play good football and dig yourself into, better situations than what you are right now. Like I said, the best thing about this is the whole entire division is trash. So if you can spring off a few victories, if you can get yourself a few wins, then I think that you should be okay. I mean, I understand the Falcons won today, but I'm not really that impressed. Carolina, they fought hard, but they got a lot of things going on. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't know what in the world happened with that, but as long as you can continue to play your game and not worry about what the other teams are doing and just continue to work hard, I think that you should be okay. But we'll see, man. I'm taking it one game at a time. I'm still skeptical, and I'm going to continue to be that way. Let's see. I've been watching you for a while, TJ, and you're a great dad. I wish I had a father who talked to me as loving as you do your kids. God bless you. And look, man, I know y'all hear Paxton in the background, but, that's just what it is. Not only you're going to get commentary, but, I'm going to have my son close by. I mean, that's just the way that, that's just the way I roll, man. I love my son. I love my family. And, hey, just having him here with me and him having like an interest in what I'm doing. Like my wife is in another room, but he'd rather come and hang out up in here with me. He likes watching football with me, and he likes to hear me, do this. So, I mean, I have no problem with that. So that Black Panther bit was great, and the new movie is going to be a good one. Nation of Domination says. Hart says people can hate and say whatever they want about Jameis, but he is an amazing teammate. What they don't show on broadcast is every time the offense would come off the field, he was the one to congratulate him. Yeah, I seen that. They had like a couple replays where they showed him on the sidelines. And look, I think that people just want to believe. People just want to believe, like, man, okay, if this dude's starting over this other guy, this guy got to be bitter and angry, and he's going to be sitting on the sidelines. But just that right there just shows you that you want to have somebody like Jameis Winston around, because he's such a great teammate. And those guys care about him. They care about him, and he means a lot to them. Now, these guys want to win. Of course, they got to look at it objectively. But look, I have no problem with Jameis Winston at all. I just think that people just want this situation to be bad, or they want him to be mad, or I hope not. I like the fact that he's still cheering on Andy and still cheering on the team and not taking it personal. Dude just threw 3 interceptions and 2 pick sixes that cost us the game versus Arizona, and he gets anointed to be the starter from now on. Jerry, I think it had very little to do with that performance. And like I said, everything to do with the fact that the Saints realized that in order for them to get back into the position of where they need to be, they have to be close to or almost similar to the offense that they ran in years past, because that's something that Pete Carmichael is comfortable with. And not to mention his ability to be able to get the ball into the hands of Alvin Kamara for him to be able to make plays. So I don't think it had anything to do with those pick sixes or anything like that. I think it had something to do with the way the trajectory of the offense and his ability to be able to get the ball to Alvin Kamara in space in a timely fashion. Look, since he came in, and I like Jameis just as much as everybody. Third down conversion rate went up. Offensive efficiency went up. Sacks by the offensive line went down. And you can't argue with that. I wish I look. The only way, and I look. I gotta say this: the only way that we're still defending Jameis Winston is because it's based on like how much we like this dude. Because if we're looking at it from an offensive standpoint, Andy Dalton has ran his offense more efficient than Jameis Winston has. I like Jameis, and do I feel like he deserves another chance? Yes. Do I feel like he deserves a fair shake being healthy? Absolutely. But if I'm a coach, I'm going to be real. Based on what I've seen, Andy Dalton would be starting for me. because you have to you cannot you got to look you cannot look at this thing from from favoritism, because if that's the case, like I said, Jameis would be the guy. But I'm looking at it from like the offense and how the offense has improved and how the offense is moving. And it is unfair, but you gotta keep it a buck. Like if you sitting up here still waiting, like I would hate, like I want people to kind of put this thing to bed. If it comes up, then it comes up. But don't mess up your opportunity to cheer for your team and to really appreciate what the team is doing in victory, because you're so busy trying to find a reason to bring back, the quarterback that you want to be the quarterback. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't like muddy up, your experience. Like if it does not cause for us to be having these type of conversations about who the quarterback is, and if Vandy does a good job, that's what we want. Because the overall objective is, folks, is for us to get out of this hole. So I'm not looking for Andy to make mistakes. I'm not looking for, somebody to look at Andy as being on a tightrope ready to get him yanked. I want to see this team win, because here's the reality, folks. If Andy Dalton would have came out there today and played badly, the Saints would have lost this game. It would have made them even deeper of a hole, especially since Atlanta beat the Carolina Panthers today. So I don't think that's the way that we need to be looking at it. I love Jameis Winston. He's a great person. Shouts out to his family. His whole team are great folks, like good people, down to earth folks. But we're not talking about how good a person is and how many butt slaps and hand claps they can give out. It's about winning football games. And right now, Andy Dalton is running this offense more effectively, and he's getting the ball out of his hands, and everything seems like it's on the same page. I have yet to see the Saints play the way that they did today. They look like a well-oiled machine. I mean, we gotta give credit what credit is due. You may like, honestly, in the back of your mind, you may want Andy Dalton to fail so Jameis can come in. But right now, like, the dude looks pretty doggone good. He look good running the offense. He's not out there winning you games, but he ain't losing you games either. All right. And I think the way that the Saints are transitioning, they're a running football team. The Saints are running the football more than they're passing the football. So Jameis 1-2 as a starter. Andy is 2-3. Straight facts, TJ. If you think won't get yanked if he plays bad, you're crazy. Look, I think that Nation, I don't think if he does get yanked, it would have to be over like a 2 or 3 game span. Like, it would have to be something like that. It can't be like, okay, if they playing on Monday night and he goes out there and he stinks it up versus the Baltimore Ravens, like, he's still gonna go back out there and play. Now he's still gonna be the starter. Like, it would have to take like him to completely fall off a cliff in order for them to like bench this dude. Like, he got to be like 2 or 3 games of stinking it up. Like, so is it his job to keep? Is it his job to keep? Probably not. But if he goes out there and he slips on a banana peel or two, but if he continues to play consistently and efficiently like he played today, Jameis not getting his job back. It's just that simple. Where has this team been? They looked alive today, hyped up and ready. Who that? Nation, I don't believe it. Let's eat them W's. Gotta admit though that the offensive scheme is different now. Yeah, because it fits a quarterback of Andy Dalton's stature. Like his abilities. Like, if you're gonna have an offense, right, and you have Pete Carmichael as your offensive coordinator for 16 years, he ran like the same offense led by Drew Brees, right? So if you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole, if you're trying to make your team better, you have to go back to the basics. That's what the Saints honestly did today. They went back to the basics. They matriculated the ball down the field. It was like kind of like watching Drew Brees, how he did it, right? Nickel and diamond down the field, get into the red zone, try to get in there. get some field goals, play good defense. I mean, they basically went back to the basics. With Jameis Winston, it's a little bit different because you have to take into account the plays that he does well and some of the things that makes him more comfortable. Andy Dalton at this stage of his career is like, man, what you need me to do? With Jameis is still young, and if you are going to have him as your starting quarterback, you're going to have to change the way that you do offense, right? Because now you have to mold the offense into his image. But right now, the Saints don't really have time to be trying to create things that wasn't there the entire time. A lot of this has to do with the fact that you can go back in time and run an offense similar to something that has gotten you success over the years. So that's why I'm looking at it. The Saints kind of just went back to the basics. Man, you Jameis lovers will do anything to discredit Andy. It's sad. Look, I feel like if you're here discrediting Andy Dalton to defend Jameis Winston, I feel like you just missed the mark. Like, seriously. Like, I get it. And like I said, I love Jameis, but I love the Saints, and I want to see the Saints win. And I don't care what the quarterback is. If Jameis would have tried it out here, Jameis has my undying support as a fan, as an onlooker, as a podcaster. But he's not the quarterback right now. And that's just something that we just going to have to accept. And nothing in the back of my mind or in the back of your mind, you should be thinking to yourself, man, I hope he, why when he stink it up today so they can bring in Jameis. Like, if you saying that, then I question the fandom here. Because I'd rather be wrong and the Saints win than be right and watch them lose. Like, seriously, I get no pride out of watching that. Keeping it real, Who Dat Sports Podcast, kickback at 5:10. See y'all there. Yeah, we about to go ahead and wrap it up too, man. My wife up in there making that shrimp, man. It's smelling real good, so I'm about to go ahead and exit stage left. In all seriousness, glad we got the win. But like AK said, it don't mean nothing without consistency. We need to keep this level of play every time we play, no matter what. That way, it makes you great. Yeah, I agree, man. Like, continue to keep that consistency going, or all of this is for nothing. It's a very impressive performance, all for nothing. And honestly, as a fan, it would just make us even more angry because we like, okay, we know y'all have this in y'all, so why can't y'all do this every week? Dalton and Jameis are mediocre, solid backups and good teammates. To keep winning, we need to have a good game plan, and everyone on both sides of the ball needs to play efficient like today. Enjoy the win. Well, look, everybody looking for spectacular. Everybody looking for Mahomes. Everybody looking for Josh Allen. Everybody looking for even a Brady, a young Brady, not modern day Brady, but everybody looking for that. But if you look back and you look at some of the Super Bowls, right? I mean, was Nick Foles, was he elite? No, he was not, right? I mean, Joe Flacco, was he elite? No, he was not. Like you have guys out there who have made it to the Super Bowl that have not been elite, but the team has done enough in order for them to get there. Jimmy Garoppolo, even though the 49ers didn't win, is he elite? No, he is not. So that whole narrative about, oh, you got to have an elite quarterback, you got to be able to go out there, throw for 350, 400 yards, or this guy got to lead you to victory every single week. Like, that kind of stuff right there is not actual. It's not factual. Like, you can win big games if you have a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over and that plays consistent. Now, you have to have a good defense. The defense got to play like they did today, but it's attainable. You can do this, but you have to be able to play lights out defense. You got to be able to be disciplined and play within yourself, but it is possible. TJ looks like he works for Enterprise, putting people in rentals. Man. Yeah, I guess with the whole shirt right there. Yeah, look like I sell insurance on the side, I guess. If you don't come ready with your A game against John Harbaugh and his boys, you're getting beat. Plain and simple. And you better be able to look at that RPO. You better be dissecting that in your sleep. If it takes Kamara speaking every week, I'm all for it. Hopefully you won't have to speak every week because guys got the picture. Yep, Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer. Rex Grossman, let's not forget about him. You know, they didn't win, but I'm not saying just because the guys, you know, didn't win a Super Bowl, don't mean that, hey, they got there. We have the three stooges at quarterback. That 49ers team going to the Super Bowl is the best example. They literally threw the ball 10 times in one NFC championship game. Yeah, a good, I'll take a consistent run game and a defense over flashy quarterback play. Like, I don't care nothing about flashy quarterback play. Maybe y'all do, but I don't. I don't. I'd rather a quarterback be consistent. I don't think you have to be an elite quarterback to win football games, but you do need a good defense and a good solid running game, which I think that the Saints running game should improve over the next couple of weeks, especially like since Trevor Penning, I think he started practicing this past week, so maybe he'll be able to get into like the rotation. Probably won't start, but I think the Saints gonna try to find ways to get him out there to get him lathered up a little bit. But my final thoughts is it's a good victory today. The Saints get the shutout. Glad to see it. Glad to see the energy. Glad to see the Saints fans having something to cheer about. It's been a while. But look, this is just one, right? You got to stack them up. There's no room for error. You got to go ahead and make a run out of this. You got to play solid and you got to play within yourself. If the Saints continue to do that, and they'll be able to replicate some of the things that we've seen defensively today, you'll start getting guys back like Thomas, like Landry, like Lattimore. Maybe you'll be able to salvage this season because, the NFC South is wide open right now. All these teams want to win, and it's about who wants it more. So who wants it more? Hopefully the New Orleans Saints do. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Shouts out to everybody that chimed in. Shouts out to everybody that's in the comments. Also, anybody that's looking at home or wherever you are right now, I really do appreciate your time. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that like button on your way out. 310 people watching this right now. Please hit the like button. If you have not and you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We got previous episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. You all take care of yourself. Have a good morning, noon, night, whenever you're checking out this podcast. And like always, all I got to say is, who dat?